Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much for joining me here. I hope you're having an amazing day. We're going to take a look here at Bitcoin, see what's going on, of course, help us understand, best practice, big picture, and once again, happy Saturday to you and your family, and hope you're having an amazing weekend. Now, we'll try to make it a little bit better here today, but truth be told, Bitcoin's kind of on a decline. Nothing too crazy, of course, but we had a Gravestone candle yesterday, but a doji before, so it's kind of all over the place, and we'll just kind of take a look at that. Not a financial advisor. Hope you can learn something here today. My goal is to help you become a better trader. So if you want a better trading experience, CryptoCache.tech is the site, link in the description below. I do help teach you how to trade, of course, with my academy. I have a signal group where I send out signals for every single trade that I take. If you'd like to consider following along there, but more importantly, just an amazing community. We all work and learn and grow together. It's a really cool experience. So thank you again so much to my current community members. You make my life awesome to be able to help you get where you need to go. Thank you. That being said, looking here at Bitcoin, we got so far a bearish engulfing candle today. Now, candlestick hasn't closed yet. It's low volume. It really isn't a significant tell. But with yesterday's Gravestone, that isn't phenomenal. You can see we came up to resistance at about 31,100 and got rejected. So again, not fantastic. And once again, you already kind of know this, but all the moving averages are above the price action right now. Yesterday, we were testing the 20 on the 4-hour. We'll look and see where we're at with that. I'm venturing to guess we lost that. We may actually be traveling within the cloud now too. So we'll see what that looks like. But generally speaking, RSI is still abysmal, still under 30 and kind of stuck under there. So we can consider that to be a resistance level right now, continue to push the price action lower. Now we do expect and anticipate a relief rally soon. So I wouldn't overly concern yourself with the fact that Bitcoin is having a red day. We may even retest 27,000 before the next potential bounce back. But you got to understand it's a correction per se, and it's very normal for this to happen. So if we do get a correction to the upside here soon, which is expected, try not to get too excited because of the simple fact that we're still trending downwards. We're still below a lot of key level resistances on the daily, and the macro really doesn't look that good right now. Okay, so that's just the stark reality. Now the micro is looking better, or at least it was looking better 24 to 48 hours ago. Yesterday was kind of unfortunate because you can see with this doji candle here, what that basically just tells us. First of all, day before yesterday, we see this doji candle basically saying there's indecision in the market. We had increased volume leading into it, so a rally would have made sense. It rallied back up to 31,000, which is awesome, but it kind of got stopped out there. And what that basically tells us here with this Gravestone pattern is that the price opened and closed effectively in the same place, even though it came all the way up, but it returned right back to where it started. So even though this is a green candle, it's still considered Gravestone, kind of telling us that there's likelihood of downside. Okay, and today with a bearish engulfing so far, even though it's not very strong, the open and close at this point is engulfing yesterday's candlestick. All right, at least it's the opens and closes again, right? So there's a handful of little things you can kind of extract there, but generally speaking, we could and should anticipate a little more downside from Bitcoin before perhaps the next leg up, if there were to be one. Okay, you just got to understand there's a lot of craziness in the world right now, and that's factoring in. But we can see here too. Here's the 20. It was really nice, all well and good at this point. We came up to the 20. Typically you see this type of pendant pattern breakout, but didn't happen. It essentially broke down instead. And what that basically just means is we hit that resistance level at 31,000 when the price wicked up there, got rejected, couldn't pass 30,700 on the 4-hour for about 16 hours total, and then it came down. So when you see something kind of plateauing like that against a key level resistance established from previous on the daily, you have a tendency of seeing a turnaround. And that makes sense as to what it's doing there, but keep in mind, we're back underneath the 20-day SMA, and that's, I wouldn't say a bad sign, it's just certainly not a good sign. I guess the opposite of a good sign is a bad sign, right? So anyways, that's kind of where we're at there. Not fantastic to be back underneath that. That was kind of a nice little potential, kind of reprieve yesterday, but it didn't maintain itself. And that's pretty standard, because once again, the sell-off here started pretty close to the end of the trading day yesterday, and Fridays are notorious for profit-taking days. Once again, the whales are the one controlling the market. They're taking their profits. All the rest of us are trying to figure it out, right? That's kind of the general consensus. Anyways, looking at the RSI, we can see we're up over 30, but under 50. Standard stuff. We've been like this for a while now. Good news is we're up over 30, so hypothetically the price were to come back down, just say to 27,000. we should expect or anticipate perhaps a bounce off of 30 on the RSI. Once again, potential, it's really hard to say. There's a lot of different factors that could swing in here, but generally speaking, it does look like it wants to kind of come back down and retest some lower levels. The important thing is to make sure we don't get a close somewhere below 28,000. That would be disadvantageous in the overall sense of things. Other than that, let's go ahead and take a look at the 1 hour. I'm very curious about the cloud. I'm pretty sure we're going to be back underneath it, but let's see what's going on here. So Ichimoku cloud. Yeah, unfortunately we lost that. So when the price breaks up above the cloud, typically a buy signal, or at least kind of confirmation you're on the right side of the tracks. Once again, got stopped out here, considered basically for 8 hours straight, went sideways, basically retraced, came back down to test this upper lead, and just broke right straight through. So for lack of better terms, the cloud didn't really provide much support. What it's basically telling us here is if you have a short position open, you want to maintain it. You don't necessarily have to open a short position, but it certainly looks like it wants to continue, and the cloud is essentially telling us and giving us confirmation that we are on the downtrend, at least in this time frame. And in the hourly right now, we can see that we are downtrending, and that will effectively continue until we break back up above the cloud. So what we're hoping for in a perfect world is the price to kind of travel back up, close somewhere in the 30,000 range, and then we'd probably be back on track for a potential swing to the upside. Once again, a lot of different potential options there, but the cloud is effectively telling us that we want to keep our short position open. There's no reason to close it because it just continues to make lower lows and lower highs. All right. So not too much else we could take a look at. Let's see if TD sequential tells us much. We're getting some resets around 6 and 5s and 7s. So we might actually see the price come back up in the immediate future, but not, I wouldn't say it's going to last super long. This downtrend does seem like it wants to continue, and I do feel as if we might see a retest of 27,000, or at the very least, maybe just test this most recent bottom at about like 28.3 or 28,000 even. Both scenarios are probable. Once again, it's slightly overextended to the downside right now, so it would be natural for the price to want to come back up. What we want to pay attention to though is if we can make a higher high here, that'd be extremely important. So we're looking for basically something along the lines of 30,800 or 31,000 to effectively give us that confidence in knowing that we're making higher highs and higher lows still on the lower time frame, and that will effectively translate into the larger time frames. Okay, so again, we're not in dire straits at this point, but it does feel like Bitcoin wants to range trade between 27,000 and 32,000. So far, that's the range that it's created, and we'll go ahead and see what happens next. But it does look like we're in a position where it's interesting, to say the least. All right, so that is essentially where we're at. Once again, not terrible, not great. It's just kind of standard weekend lull, I guess you could say, with low volume. Let's just pay attention to the one-day candlestick close, see where we go from there. We'll go and review this again here tomorrow. And I do appreciate, once again, you watching. CryptoCache.tech is a site if you do want to become a better trader. I look forward to working with you. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you.